Good evening, I'm Jeff Lyons, just a little late here, sorry about that. I was trying to get something pushed out on our website. So we're all set here. Doesn't matter, it's still going to be hot and humid, whether we come on at 9 o'clock or 9:02, whatever the time is there. We had some showers and thunderstorms earlier, but all of that action has kind of moved on. In fact, if you look here to the north, you can see that we have showers and storms up around Bloomington, Indianapolis. Those are all moving away from the region and will pose no threat to us. The only thing I could see happening, and again, this is kind of a long shot as we haven't really had much energy down here in the tri-state converted into storms at all today, and that would be if that line to our north was able to put out some outflow boundaries and maybe trigger some storms across our northern counties. That doesn't appear to be the case. It looks like it's pretty self-contained, so you know, there we are. And the bigger picture shows nothing else moving in at this time, other than very warm, humid air that will be stuck over the tri-state. Tomorrow, our severe risk shifts back to the north, and then on Thursday, it'll come back down, especially in our northwestern counties there, as kind of an undecided cold front hangs out along the Great Lakes. There will be several lines of storms that kind of work their way down toward the Ohio River. They'll be weakening as they go, but just that could be the trigger for a few more periods of showers and thunderstorms. Going through the hour by hour here, you don't really see much of anything until late tomorrow night, some decaying thunderstorm line storms coming in. And then you'll notice the same thing happens Thursday. We're expecting a larger line of maybe organized storms back to our northwest. We're talking northern and central Illinois that would eventually make it down into the tri-state in their weakening phase as they come through. One thing to keep in mind is that all models, no matter how good, have a really hard time in predicting and showing the path of what we call a mesoscale convective system, or MCS, these clusters of storms that develop when it gets hot and humid. They pretty much play by their own rules, but the atmosphere, the environment, will be favorable for that kind of action over the next couple of days. 81 out there now. We have temperatures still in the muggy range out there, with 80s at Henderson, Mount Vernon, Owensboro at 79 now. Our lows this morning were down to 72. We had some early rain that kind of put the brakes on the temperature initially, but then when the sun came out, we quickly moved up to 90. We were the hot spot here in the Ohio River Valley. Now, we had heavy rain that moved east. I don't know if you saw any of the flooding video out of Lanesville, which is just to the west of Louisville. Really catastrophic flooding there. Our 24-hour temperature change, we are slightly warmer than yesterday at this time. Our low was 8 degrees warmer than the norm, and our high today about 6 degrees warmer than average, although we typically hit that first 90 around the 1st of June. So we're about a week off from the climatological average for that. But there it is, our first 90 for the year. We also picked up 0.18 of an inch of rain today. So our grand total for the month would be closer to about 9,200 hundredths, almost an inch. We are still a little dry for June, but we have many opportunities for rain and thunderstorms in the coming week ahead. Now, the first thing that I wanted to mention was, as that high pressure moves out, we continue with the southerly flow. So we have juicy air moving in, but no cloud cover, and that's why we have temperatures in the low 90s tomorrow and probably around 91 or so again on Thursday. And then notice too, you have these lines of storms developing and then weakening as they come through. The cold front itself never really slices through, but we will get some cooler air in here, so the temperatures will pull back into the middle 80s by Friday and pretty much stay in that range through the weekend. But it will be humid, and that will be perfect conditions, obviously, for more thunderstorms too. Our heat index tomorrow should top out at about 100 degrees to about 105. That would most likely occur during peak heating, which is typically around 3 o'clock or so. this time of the year. And then as we look at the weekend, Saturday, at least at this stage, still looks dry. Sunday, some scattered showers and thunderstorms will be likely, mainly late in the day, and those will extend into Monday as well. And then we have more rain chances coming up next week. The rainfall potential along the way there, about another 1 to 2 inches of rain. Very hard to really put a number on it, because some places will get that, others may not get any or very little. So again, that's just kind of a broadened out average of what's possible given the amount of moisture we expect in the atmosphere. European model keeping us dry through Saturday as well. Sunday, some showers and storms coming through, and again, this is different from the GFS, so I'd say the weekend is still a bit of a wild card at this point on when and where the rain will fall. But certainly with the humidity we're anticipating and the heat, it would be reasonable to expect some showers and thunderstorms both days. I don't think we're going to have a washout either day, but thunderstorms, a definite possibility. 75 tonight with cloudy skies, maybe a stray shower. 93 tomorrow with hot and humid and the heat index close to 105. And then Saturday, mainly dry during the day. Sunday, about a 50-50 chance for rain, primarily afternoon, evening, and then a continued threat for scattered showers and storms through the weekend, or through the early part of next week. The temperature outlook then is returning us to near normal for the middle of the month, and slightly wetter than normal too for rainfall. And that's beefy, our pet pick for tonight. All right, let me see if you have any questions at all, and we will answer those for you. And again, my apologies here for being a couple minutes late on the draw. You know how that is. We try to work right down to the minute around here, but I wanted to get this thing published. Okay, here we go with your questions. We've got Suzanne Daly, good evening. Cheyenne Hammonds is on. Angie Wampler, hello from Vincennes, hey. Justin Fleischman from Chandler. 1/4 inch of rain, says William Raleigh. That's pretty much in line with, I think I had 1800s at my house, and I think we had about 2/10 here at the station. We've got Missy Spriggs going to Nashville, doctor's appointment tomorrow. What is my travel going to be? You'll be fine coming and going to Nashville tomorrow, so good luck with that, with your doctor's appointment. Laura Gray watching from Dawson Springs, just got home from work. Oh, I'll bet you're ready. Nothing like unwinding from work than watching the First Alert weather show at 9, right? So relax, calm down. We don't have any threatening weather on the way anytime soon. Ricky Brown, good evening, Ricky. How are you doing? Glad you're on. Kim Claspel from Star City, Arkansas, visiting family and turned on the podcast. Okay, so you're from Star City, Arkansas, but you're here, or maybe it's the other way around. Angie Wampler, camping weekend weather. Well, that's up for debate. Now, it is going to be cooler. We won't have the 90s. There will be a threat for rain. I would say if I were trying to pick a day to camp, it would be Saturday night going into Sunday, but there is a chance you could get wet out there with some thunderstorms. So, of course, today's Tuesday. We still have a lot of days to get the details worked out. So you can air out your tent and have everything ready to go. How about that? Jeff Miller hit 94 degrees today. Well, our report from Mount Vernon was 95, so I guess that's right. I thought, wow, somebody's thermometer's on fire here, but it just cleared out very quickly and stayed clear. I think that was a surprise. We assumed with early morning rain we would still have kind of overcast or a cloud deck up there to kind of mitigate the heat, but it didn't. And so we marched right on up to 90 degrees. All right, we're going to say goodbye to Beefy here, and sorry, Beefy, your time's up. Beefy, I had a cat that looked just like that. My first cat's name was Merv. This was back when I first started in television in 1986. And Merv was a big yellow cat, and he turned into that attitude as well. It's something about yellow cats. All right, let's talk about thunder and lightning for a minute, because we will likely see more of it certainly this weekend, through the end of the week and the weekend. Scattered thunderstorms. One of the big questions I often get, especially this time of the year when it's hot, is does the sound wave from the thunder, or the lightning rather, travel faster or slower? And the answer is it travels much faster. At 80 degrees, it goes at about 776 miles per hour, which roughly breaks down to about 1 mile every 5 seconds, or about 1,000 feet per second. I mean, you can do the math. It's not exactly that. I just round the numbers. But the point here is that you see the flash and then you hear the bang. And so if you count the interval between the flash and the bang, assuming it's that flash that you're hearing, you can determine whether a storm is inbound or outbound by the numbers. If the numbers get shorter, smaller, it's coming toward, and obviously if the numbers, it takes you longer to count, it's moving away. I think that's kind of common sense. One thing you might not realize, though, is that even in a pretty conducive atmosphere, thunder can rarely travel. The sound of it can rarely get out more than about 10 miles. And this brings up the often asked question, what is heat lightning? Does it have to do with heat? On these hot summer nights, you'll often go out and you'll see lightning off in a distance. Sometimes you can't even see the thunderstorm. You'll just see little flickers. And that's because the light can reflect and refract through the atmosphere, and you see it. You don't hear any thunder. There's nothing more spectacular if you're in position to sit out and watch a big, like severe weather. If it's not affecting, your location, hopefully it's just out over somebody's cornfield, but and seeing the lightning and the structure of the storm, and many of you have shared pictures of that very thing. I look forward to being able to do that someday. I'm always in here when that happens. But anyhow, heat lightning is simply a thunderstorm that's too far away to hear the thunder. You can see the lightning. I mean, they can see the lightning from space, but you can't hear the thunder. So that's what that's all about. And then lightning strikes actually follow a very predictable lifespan. Okay, now they're unpredictable where they're actually going to strike. But what happens is, as you get updrafts and downdrafts within the parent cumulus cloud, cumulonimbus cloud, that friction creates static electricity, a tremendous potential energy, a negative. And so the first thing that happens is you get a very weak channel of electrons that goes to the ground, to the positive down here. We call that a stepped leader. And as that leader nears the ground, it draws the positive charge upward. And similar to, plugging in an appliance or whatever, as the leader and streamer merge, you get a powerful electrical current going through it, kind of like plugging in an extension cord. And so the return stroke is what we see, and that can travel at up to 60,000 miles per second. Now we're talking about the speed of the actual lightning bolt. And that process then may repeat several times along that same channel, and that's why you see the lightning flicker sometimes. And that is essentially how a lightning bolt forms or happens, and this all occurs in less than a second, almost the blink of an eye. And we get many different kinds of lightning. We have cloud to cloud, which is not as common as cloud to ground. That's probably the most common. And then we have cloud to sky, which happens occasionally. And we have intracloud, that is lightning bolts that are within the cloud itself. And that oftentimes is what you're seeing as heat lightning. Not all lightning bolts strike the ground. So, but nonetheless, if you see lightning or you're hearing thunder and can't see the lightning, you need to move inside as soon as you can. And remember that a lightning bolt can strike 10, 12 miles away from the parent thunderstorm. So sometimes you can have a clear, what we call a bolt out of the blue, right, where there's a storm somewhere, but you get struck in your location. So that's why we're always a little leery of lightning and kids' activities, sporting events, you name it. And you can go on YouTube and see lightning striking near an athletic event, and people scattering and running and so forth. Lightning's a scary thing. It's spectacular to see, but you don't want it to be too close. Let's see if we have any other questions here before we let you back to what you were doing. I don't think we do. So that's all I have for you tonight. Please stay safe, and I will see you on 14 News at 10. Thanks for watching the First Alert Weather Show at 9:02 tonight. Don't tell anybody.